Hi, folks. Welcome to Fiction, Contemporary Fantasy, Literature and Workshop. My name's Joe Bauman. I'm going to be your instructor in this class, and I'm really excited to work with you all in this term. So this video is just designed to show you, to talk a little bit about what our class is going to be like, what the trajectory is, how I would like you to start thinking about what we're going to be working on. The video that's posted below this one is going to help you navigate our course in Canvas. So in this class, I've got a couple of goals for us. We're going to really be thinking about what some of the major features of fantasy as it's written in the 21st century might be, and how we as writers can work within those expectations and those trends, but also try to create something unique and new. We'll talk about some of the major trappings and traps that you can fall into in writing contemporary fiction. So the general arc of our course is we're going to start by reading a couple of major texts that have won major accolades, bestsellers, lots of awards. We're going to begin with Joe Abercrombie's The Blade itself. You'll notice this is actually quite sizable. This and our other book, I will admit, are the first books in trilogies, but they also function really well as standalone stories. I'll just give you a quick little bit of warning about this one, that it is pretty gory. So if you are squeamish about violence, you'll just want to prepare yourself. But I think it's a really great example of how to use stuff like magic and creatures and violence to really good effect. I don't ever feel like in this book that it's particularly violence for its own sake. And the second book we'll be reading is this, The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, which is the first in her Broken Earth trilogy. But again, a book that works really well standalone. It has the distinction of winning the Hugo Award in 2016, and she has the distinction of winning that award 3 years in a row for each book in this series. So we'll be focusing our first several weeks on reading those. Along the way, as you'll see when you take a look at the course structure, I've got a couple of short video lectures about some of the major components of writing fantasy. You'll turn in some pages that attend to some of those major components in fantasy, and we'll discuss these texts in terms of how they are accomplished in those major components of fantasy. And then in the last several weeks of our class, we will devote significant time to workshopping material of your own. We'll all get a quick glimpse of what you're working on before we workshop, and then we'll do our workshops where you will get to tell us what kind of feedback you would like on some section of the project you're working on. In this class, I invite and welcome folks to write really whatever they want. Likely, I'm guessing that many of you have a fantasy novel, potentially a series in mind. But if you are more like me, who's more interested in the short form, and you are hoping to simply work on a short story that is fantasy, that's also perfectly fine. Really, the choice is going to be entirely yours. I want this class to be meaningful for you. So I want you to choose the work that you're passionate about, interested in, as the material that you write. If you've already worked on this project in another class, that's also perfectly fine. Recycling material for the sake of making it better and better throughout your time in the program is also perfectly well and good. My goal here is that this feels like a rigorous course, but that it's also enjoyable, that you feel like you're learning things and you're also sharing and developing your ideas. So I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you have a good time in this class as you are getting settled and starting to navigate. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. Looking forward to working with you all.